Hey, what's up ladies and gents, SpoonyPizzas here, back with another eFootball 2024 video. Today we are going to continue my build series, and today we're going to be focusing on the SS role, the right wing forward and the left wing forward, simply because there's not all that too many players in this category for my leveling. But kicking things off with Diaby first. Now initially I created the fastest man alive, so he had 99 acceleration, 99 speed, 99 dribbling with the manager boost, and all honesty, as you can see down the left hand column, 18 appearances, 6 assists. So I've only just respec'd this ever so slightly. I still wanted to keep him really fast because I felt that it was quite effective, even though he didn't have that much output. But I think that was the problem, because I spec'd him as 99 in those areas. He was certainly lacking in the output department. So this is a build I can't really rate because I haven't really tried and tested it, but he does feel really good on the ball. And from past experience of the 99 speed build, that was like a 7 out of 10, I would say. He just felt really good, but like I said, just lacking in that output. And this is how I spec'd him: 4 for shooting, 4 for passing, 12 for dribbling, 10 for dexterity, 10 for lower body strength. Next up is Kvaratskhelia, and this is probably the best build that I can show you for this guy, because this was one of the packs where he had the highest overall rating apart from the sort of standout card. I think it was an epic card, but this build here, he is simply so quick, so good in terms of his player ID. He's got great output, as you can see there, 36 goals, 15 assists in 59 appearances. And I went for 4 for shooting, 4 for passing, 8 for dribbling, 10 for dexterity to really give that nice acceleration and speed disparity, which makes him feel great on the ball. He's got that high balance as well. 8 for lower body strength. Antoine Griezmann. Now I've only just recently respec'd this nominating contract card because it just didn't feel right to me. In fact, his sort of base card felt better to me than the card that I initially had. So I've only respec'd him recently to this, and this is how I leveled him. So I put 8 for shooting, 3 for passing, and the reason I put 3 for passing is because I'm taking that manager boost into consideration with the +2, so that's going to boost that passing to 80, so you are going to see that benefit. 8 for dribbling, 9 for dexterity, 8 for lower body strength. Again, I've got Ten Hag as my manager, so he gets a +3 for a speed boost because he gets the +1 from Ten Hag, and then he already gets the +2 from the manager bonus. Neymar Jr., and this card honestly didn't feel all that great, in all honesty. I went for 8 for shooting, 8 for dribbling, 8 for dexterity, 8 for lower body strength. I would give this card like a 6 out of 10. Inter Milan, Lionel Messi. This is my build for him, and this was actually a really nice build up until the recent update, and he just doesn't feel anywhere near as good. 8 for shooting, 4 for passing, 4 for dribbling, 5 for dexterity, and 8 for lower body strength. Like I said, before the update, he was like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Now he's more like a 6 or a 7. This Manchester United Marcus Rashford build, recently respec'd because I had him differently spec'd before, but this build is sensational. It is now a 10 out of 10 build. This is one of my favorite players now. 8 for shooting, 8 for dribbling, 12 for dexterity. I think before I put some points into passing, I abandoned that, boosted his finishing, and most importantly, boosted that dexterity. That 10-point difference between the speed and acceleration makes him feel so good. Now again, got to take that manager boost into consideration when it's Ten Hag. You get a +3 bonus to speed, so do take that into consideration if you have got Ten Hag. And you're probably wondering why I abandoned his low passing. It's because most of his player skills are focused on shooting. He hasn't got one-touch passing, he hasn't got through passing, so why boost the passing? Just put him in that right wing forward position, get him on the ball, drive at the defense, cut inside, and unleash hell. Garnacho up next. This is another 10 out of 10 build. This is probably the best left-sided player that I've got in my entire squad. This build is insane. I don't know why it's so good, because it doesn't look all that good on paper, but honestly, if you've watched my Manchester United series, you're going to know how effective he is. Hasn't got that many player skills, so I have added some to his player skills through the additional skills, but they don't really make that much of a difference. It's just the fact that this build for some reason makes him feel insanely good. I went for 8 for shooting, again abandoned his low passing because of his lack of player skills. Went for dribbling as 12, 8 for dexterity, and 6 for lower body strength. Chiesa up next, and this is another 10 out of 10 build. This player is insane. If you've watched my dribbling tutorial, most of those dribbles are with this guy, and because I just think his player skills and these stats just seem to work so well for him. I don't know why. He doesn't look all that spectacular, but his player ID kicks in and he's insane. He's got plenty of player skills, but I've added to those additional player skills. The one thing I was looking for is Marseille turn and one touch passing. And if I could, I would exchange those for Rabona and aerial superiority. And this is how I leveled him. 7 for passing and shooting, 8 for dribbling and dexterity, and also lower body strength. A player I expected so much from, Dembele, and honestly this build hasn't worked all that well for me. As you can see from his appearances, 51 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists. Simply there's no output here, so I'm actually going to respec him. This is how his current build looks. 8 for shooting, 8 for dribbling, 12 for dexterity, 12 for lower body strength. Admittedly, most of those appearances, if not all, have come from the bench because Chiesa is just far too strong on that right hand side for me to replace him. And this is how I'm going to respec him. I'm just going to make him purely a dribbler. 14 for dribbling, 12 for dexterity, and 4 for lower body strength. Just going to use him as a skiller just to maybe hold on to the ball, waste time, and poke fun of my opponent because he's got a range of player skills here as well. As you can see, it's mostly focused on tricks and dribbles, so that's how I'm going to use him. I'm going to bring him off the bench and poke fun of my opponent. The GP Antoine Griezmann build this time, and this was actually probably more successful than my nominating contract build, and I don't know why, but this player just feels so much better than the nominating contract build. I just don't understand or can't explain why it feels that way. Just the player ID feels much better. And how I expect him: 7 for shooting, 6 for passing, 8 for dribbling, 8 for dexterity, and 6 for lower body strength. And I did try a similar build initially on the nominated contract build, but it just simply didn't work out as well as this, hence I respect him slightly differently. I would give this build an 8 out of 10. Leroy Sané up next, and he's a left wing forward, but he can also play left side and also right wing forward, and this is a 10 out of 10 build. Again, he's one of these players who just feels so good. He does feel like a little bit one-sided on his foot, and you can sort of see that through the almost never weak foot usage, but honestly he is so good. Again, if I didn't have Garnacho, this player would be starting every time. 4 for shooting, 4 for passing, 12 for dribbling, 12 for dexterity. Again, he's just a player that feels so good in your hands and poses a real threat through his dribbling ability. Jack Grealish up next, and whilst his stats don't look all that good, again his player ID kicks in, makes him feel really good. I would say he's like an 8 out of 10 with this build, and this is how I expect him. 8 for shooting, 4 for passing, 4 for dribbling, 10 for dexterity, 10 for lower body strength. So plenty of 10 out of 10 builds there, especially in the wide areas. I just seem to nail it when I get those players, and they just feel so good for me on the ball. So yeah, that is the SS, the left wing forward position and the right wing forward position complete. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.